Hello guys, how are you? Thank you for joining. I hope you're doing well. Okay, they have a new talk. And let me introduce the Almat. Almat, go ahead.
Hi everyone, my name is Almat. I'm senior software testing engineer at EPAM. And today I'll be sharing with you one of my favorite tools for testing, Charles Proxy. So here's our agenda. So we will talk about what the proxy server is and why Charles Proxy is especially useful for testers. Its pros and cons compared to the other tools. Then I'll show you the live demo where we analyze, intercept, and even manipulate real network trafficking. So then we will have the Q&A session. So what is the proxy server? So proxy server is simply a middleman between your device and the internet. Instead of your app talking directly to the server, all communication goes through the proxy. So this means we can see, analyze, and even change the traffic on the fly. So for testers, it's incredibly powerful because it's exposed what's happening behind the scenes. So if we talk about simply, for example, when you test the web application using browser, you can use and manage all the network trafficking using the DevTools. But here's the problem: when we test the mobile applications, we can't use any other tools. We don't have any other built-in tools like the DevTools. So, and here we can use the Charles proxy that can do everything with the network trafficking. So, here's the why testers need a proxy. So for testers, proxy unlock the visibility and control. So they let us inspect requests and responses that apps normally hide, debug tricky client-server flows, modify traffic to simulate different scenarios, control performance by throttling network. In short, they give us superpowers in understanding how apps really communicate with the servers. So here the core use cases of the using the Charles. So here we can diagnose request errors like 400 or 500 and timeouts, inspect the headers, parameters, response bodies mainly, modify responses to simulate scenarios without waiting on the backend updates. That's very useful. Intercept HTTPS traffic securely, then simulate different network conditions, like I said, throttling, maybe some timeouts, and so on and so on. So here are the key features. So key features of the Charles, it's the structure versus the sequence used to explore the requests, HTTPS interception to decrypt the secure traffic, breakpoints to pause and edit requests and responses, map local and map remote to reroute or mock data. So that's the main thing, I guess. So throttle settings, simulate poor network, then error simulation, inject 500s, 400s, and timeouts. So here our next. So alternatives to the Charles. So if we go to the alternatives, so most of you are familiar with the Fiddler. Yeah, mostly free, very scriptable, popular on Windows for Windows users. So yeah, you also could be familiar with the Proxyman, mostly for the macOS users. They are modern UI. What else? Strong SSL support and so on and so on. And also the Wireshark. Yeah, here it's very powerful for packet analysis, through more suited for network specialists. Yeah, if you are pro, maybe you can use a Wireshark. And also the Burp Suite. So Burp Suite, powerful for security testing and mocking some kind of security scenarios and something else. So yeah, but I'm not the pro in the Burp Suite, so please no questions in this. So, and honorable mention, Charles is a sweet spot between the simplicity and power for testers. So that's why I prefer the Charles. So pros and cons of Charles. So pros, it's the easy UI for beginners, cross-platform. So also for Windows, macOS, Linux. So excellent HTTPS support. So mocking, as I said, map local or map remote, throttling features. So cons, yeah. Also, we had restrictions like it could be paid. Yeah, you have a 30-day trial. After 30-day trial, you have to pay 500, not the 500, $50. Yeah, $50 for the lifetime usage. Could be slightly heavy on the CPU and memory, and for a little bit complicated cases, maybe not scriptable or automatable as some alternatives like the Wireshark. So, and after that, so the main thing today, our live demo. So here's the agenda. So today I'll show you how to install and configure the Charles proxy using my real phone device. So also the capture the network traffic from the browser and the mobile device, intercept HTTPS requests, modify server response, using the map local, use the breakpoints to alter requests. And I guess if we have time, maybe we will apply the throttling to simulate the poor connection errors. So I guess that's it for the presentation. So Tatiana, we can move on with the live demo. What do you think?
Okay.
So let me share my screen. So guys, tell me if you can see the screen. I guess you can see, yeah. So here's the thing. I will write here Charles proxy. So this is our main website when we can download and install it. So that's very easy. So you just go here, download the free trial. So, and here are the options. For Windows user, we have the Windows options, Windows links, macOS links, and Linux links. So I already installed this app on my macOS device, so I don't need to install it and show it. I guess everyone knows how to install the things. So I'll directly switch to the app. So here's my app. So Charles proxy. Tatiana, can you see my desktop?
Yes.
Or only browser? I guess no desktop, yes. So let me reshare it.
Reshare, yes.
Share screen, window, maybe the entire screen will be good. So how about now? Can you see now my screen?
Yes, now, yes.
That's great. That's great. Thank you. Thank you. Here is our Charles and its interface. So yeah, now you can see nothing, but that's okay. We will see stuff a little bit later. So yeah, that's very simple. Yeah, that's very simple. Here we have our block that shows us our requests. Then here we have a block when we can see our detailed information about our requests and responses. So what am I going to show now? I'm going to show you how to configure that to use to track your own traffic on your browsers or on your macOS device. So here we need to do next thing. So go to the help section, SSL proxying, and then you need to click the install Charles Root certificate. After that, yeah, all of that stuff related with the macOS installation or Windows installation, that's super easy. I guess I no need to show you for that. So after doing that, what should you do next? You should do next stuff. Go to the proxy section, then turn on the macOS proxy. So what is gonna do for now? What? So right now we don't see anything, but if we go to the browser and write, for example, open API pet store swagger.io, yeah, and here we can see the traffic. here we can see the traffic, and mostly if, for example, some kind of resource have the public API, even is HTTPS, yeah, sometimes you need to make some kind of other stuff to make your data visible. So yeah, for example, for that kind of information, yeah, we don't have enough maybe rights to see them. Yeah, but if we go to this resource, for example, PetStore Swagger IO, it has its own public API, so we can access it and see what's going on there. So here I found it, PetStore API. So as I said, here all the requests and resources. So here we can see what kind of endpoints have been made to the network, to the server side, and at that block we can see all the information about this endpoint, its URL, its status, response code, the protocol, what kind of protocol has been used, and so on and so on. So here, if we go to the contents, we can see what kind of JSON we have in our response. So that's all the information that comes from our backend side, and that has been applied to our front end side. So yeah, as you can see here, I already made changes, so we will do it next. So yeah, mostly before applying this Charles Root certificate to your macOS, you won't see anything. You will just see the bunch of requests that has been made to the server side. But after you installing that SSL certificate, all the data that can be shared, it can be publicly seen. Yeah, you can see and you can access it on your Charles UI. So I guess that's it for the desktop testing. Yeah, as I said before, when you test it on the desktop in the browser, you have very beautiful tool. Like the DevTools. Yeah, in DevTools you have the network option, and in the network you can analyze and see anything related with your network. Any kind of requests, responses, and so on and so on. So the main thing that Charles are useful, especially for me, and I guess for the most of the testers, that we can use it and test it when we test the mobile applications. So the main problem, most of the mobile applications doesn't have any built-in dev tools or something like that. So for that, as I said before, we can use Charles, Proxyman, and any other like proxy stuff. They can show us information about our network. So the first thing, as I said before, let's configure that. Let's show how to configure that on the real mobile device. What am I gonna do first? So I'm going to stop the sharing for a while. Yeah, I'll be right back. So I need to apply phone mirroring. Where's my phone mirroring? Yeah, that's good. So I guess I'm ready, and let me present my screen again. Entire screen, share. So Tatiana, can you see my screen? Let me ask again.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that's great. Here, I just used the built-in macOS feature to mirror my real phone device screen. So what am I gonna do? I'm going to show you how to configure your Charles and see what happens, what kind of network stuff happens on my device, and show them here, all of them here. So what we should do. Firstly, we go into the help section, SSL proxying, and we should press the install Charles Root certificate on mobile device or remove browser button. We will have this message pop up. It tells us configure your device to use Charles as its HTTP proxy on some kind of IP and port. Then browse it to chls.pro/ssl to download and install certificate. So we're going to do that. So let me so sorry, my Safari is not responding. That's not a big problem, I guess. Let me fix that real quick. So I'll be right back in a minute. So give me time. So I'm here. Do not lose me. I'm just preparing my phone to be shown. So oh, that's pity. I can't access that. Let me reboot my phone. Then I'll show you that. Slight technical issues.
Don't worry. Sometimes it's happened.
Sometimes that happens, yeah, when you don't when you're not ready for that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just clicking on my applications, yeah, to open it. That doesn't respond. So yeah, I'll try to I'll try to reboot my phone. So yeah.
Mhm.
No, 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 no. Something is happening not very good. Yeah.
Our speaker having trouble connection. We're waiting him. Sorry, guys. Please stay with us. Give us 1 minute, guys.
I'm here. I'm here, guys. I'm here. So I'm so sorry for that kind of troubles, but my phone just not responding. My phone just not responding. Yeah, that's a very big problem. But okay. I guess we have a workaround. So let's imagine. Next thing. I'll show you. I'll just tell you how to configure that on your mobile device. That's not so hard. Yeah. But all the other stuff related with the device, mobile device stuff, I'll try to emulate it on the browser. So the rest of the things we can show on the browser. So don't worry. So here's the thing. So the main thing that Charles are fixing for us as a testers, that it can give us an ability to see the network trafficking. So what kind of requests and responses we send and we get from the server. So as I said before, for example, the very simple use case, for example, you are testing the mobile application and you press the button, nothing happens. So as a skilled and as a really good tester, you should investigate why that stuff happened. So to fix that, to investigate, you can use the Charles, by accessing to the network and seeing what kind of stuff happens there, 400, 500, or something like this. And as I said before, yeah, my phone is just dead. So, okay, let's forget about phone. I just tell you how to install and configure it on the phone. That's super easy. As I said before, go to SSL proxying, click the install Charles certificate on mobile device or remote browser. So you need to follow the steps, like, guys, very carefully. So you go, so your MacBook or PC, MacBook or PC where Charles installed, and your mobile device where you want to track your network should be connected to the same Wi-Fi, guys. That's the main rule, to the same Wi-Fi. Then after you connect it to the same Wi-Fi, you should go in your phone settings, to go to the Wi-Fi settings. At the very bottom, it could be Android or iPhone. You can click to the proxy settings. In the proxy, you will have the IP, the port fields, empty fields, and you should fill them with that IP and with that port. Yeah, time by time it could be changed. So yeah, every time you want to access the network from your device, you should type what kind of IP and network it shows you, your Charles shows you. Then the part of the things done, you can access, you can access the network, but as I said before, the SSL certificate is not installed. What SSL certificate means? SSL certificate means that mostly you can see all the traffic that goes and comes to your computer, to your Charles, but you can show what exactly there happened. Like, you can see all the data, for example, here, yeah, in the clear way, yeah. So in that clear way, so mostly it will be like this. So for that to see the data in the clear and the structured way, you should install the SSL certificate from your Charles proxy that generated from your Charles. That, guys, that's the main point. So any other Charles certificates that generated from the other Charles or other third-party systems or from the other persons, guys, be careful because your data or your network can be tracked. So that's the main thing. So next, after installing that, so the very easy thing, yeah, you can go to your VPN and management in your settings, and go by going settings, general, about, certificate, trust. The only thing you need to do, you just move the toggle to trust this certificate, and voila, you are all set. You can access all your data that can be all your network data that on your iPhone or your Android or something like this. So that's it, I guess, for the mobile configuration. So let's just imagine that we are testing some mobile application, and yeah, that we're testing mobile application, but I'll show you through the browser. So the main thing interesting for us, that's the browser and UI. So I'll use for that our petstoreswagger.io. Yeah, that's the main thing, that it has on its own public API. So here we can do the magic. So the first thing that I'd like to show you, this stuff. So here our UI, as you can see, that the pet store swagger IO. Just we guys, we don't have any mobile application here, but just imagine that this UI is our mobile application on our mobile device. So that's the main thing that's interesting for us. Yeah, let's forget that in the browser we have the dev tools. The only thing that we are connected this UI with this with our Charles to see what happens on the network side. So here, so I connected it. So what we doing? Let me let me do next. Let me execute, cancel. So what I just did. So I had a lot of resources that going from my macOS network, from any other resources. So all of them I just hide it by clicking the pet store swagger IO resource by clicking on focus button. So every other resource just hide it in the other host folder, and only thing that I see will be the petstoreswagger.io. So next thing that I did, that's the breakpoint feature. So I just applied the breakpoints. So every time when I try to reach that endpoint, yeah, so here we can see our path v2 swagger.json. Every time this endpoint triggered, our endpoint will be intercepted. In what way? So I'll show you. So I just reloaded. So as you can see here, it intercepted. So it intercepted in the request level. So what can I do here? I can do various things here. Like I can change everything. I can change, like the end of the path. Maybe some parameters that I'm sending. Depends on the type of response. Yeah, is it get or post? But I guess it's just get. So in case of post methods, yeah, you can change your parameters or something like this. So right now, I'm not interested for changing any requests. So I'm executing, I'm skipping that. So it intercepted response that coming from the server. So what I'm interested in? I'm interested in changing some kind of information in body. So here we have edit response. Yeah, JavaScript or JSON text, anything that suits for you. So as you already can see, I changed the data that came from, sorry guys, that came from the backend side, and I'm just changing that for example, demo v2. I'm so sorry. Execute. So cancel. So what we will have here? No, it didn't change anything because I did it for too long. So let me reload it again and do it a little bit faster. So execute. Here is the response, JavaScript. Let here, I am so sorry for mobile. Execute. And voila. So what I'm telling you that I'm just changed the data that coming from the network. So isn't that beautiful? I guess that's the very powerful. So here comes the thing that by using this feature, I can manipulate the data that comes from the server. For example, I wanna test different case of different scenarios related with maybe, lots of data. For example, how my UI will behave when I will add when I will add little big list of data. For example, yeah, when I test the list component, yeah, for example, and if we have the real data with the 2 or 3 objects, yeah, I can really manipulate that by adding more data. So guys, that's a really powerful thing. So, but I guess, like the main cons of the breakpoints, every time you reach this endpoint, particular endpoint that you applied the breakpoints, every time it will intercept it, and every time it will be showed there again, again. And sometimes it could be boring, not boring, it could be bother you. So, and to automate that, we have a other very interesting tool called map local. So what does map local means? So map local means that I already have for example, JSON file that prepared for that. That's the very similar that's used for that. Yeah, and I'm just changing the data. Without using breakpoint, just making a rule for that kind of endpoint. Please, every time use that JSON. So here, what am I going to do? I already have prepared JSON with data. So here I can delete all of that. And let's write, for example, demo, and other stuff. So let's save that. And what we're gonna do, we already have our endpoint that we are familiar. So we turn off the breakpoints. That's the main thing. Don't forget to turn off the breakpoints and turn on the map local. It's already turned on. Yeah, it's already turned on. So what you should do here in that pop-up. So mostly when you're using it for the first time, local path is empty. So you choose and give the path to your JSON file in your PC or Mac. So we are, after setting that, we're all set. We click OK. So every time it triggers, like it's gonna swap the data that comes from the network with your file that's stored in your Mac. So let's try it. So here I'm expecting that. So that would be not. So I'm sorry for mobile. There will be demo, demo, and demo. So let's reload the page. What we will see here. So voila, no breakpoints, no other stuff. It just changed it automatically. So in what particular case it could be used? So I can say, like, in my experience, we've been developed the mobile application, and we have the front end team and the back end team, and mostly, like front end team were 3 or 4 sprints aside. So yeah, we prepared lots of views, lots of pages, but backend is not ready. Backend is not ready, but you need to test that. So for that kind of situations, the map local stuff, it's very useful. When you know that you have a particular endpoint, you can just, for that endpoint, just every time call your JSON or your data, or your testing data that's stored on your device. So I guess that's the very beautiful thing. So other stuff that I'd like to show you, maybe not show you, maybe, yeah, like also we can here we can test not the data changing. Yeah, for example, in the mobile application testing, like maybe you face that to test 400 or 500 errors and its error views. You needed to ask your backend developer, just mark it to me. So when you have access to Charles and you can use it and you mastered it, no need to talk your backend developer. The only thing you do, if it's very easy API, so you're going to do the next thing. We're going to switch back to the breakpoints. So let's switch off the map local. I'm just switch that off, and we go to the breakpoints here again. So for example, the next thing, what am I gonna do? So every time it triggered, it's going to intercept that. So I'm going to reload my page. So it's intercepted that. So we are skipping the request, as I said before. I'm skipping that. And what am I gonna do? I'm going to change the response code here. Oh no, maybe not here. Maybe not here, maybe here. So let's delete the 404 and execute. And voila, what we have here. Yeah, that's the super smart UI. Yeah, it's telling me that the file to load API definition fetch error response status is 404. So yeah, to test that kind of situations, you also can use the breakpoint to change the status codes of your response. So the other stuff that I'd like to tell you, it's very complicated to show you maybe. Reverse to the map remote, we have also to map local, we also have the map remote option. What map remote option does, for example, as a tester, everybody know that we have various of environments like staging, like production, like QA environment, pre-production, something like this. And could be the situation, maybe I want to reroute some kind of stuff to the staging or to the pre-production environment, because of like pre-production have more clear, more more fresh data. And using map remote, like I can just reroute it, for example, uh, all the requests from staging just to the pre-production side, or even the production if you allow it, of course. So other stuff, I guess that's enough for today. Yeah, I guess I told everything that could be useful for you guys. So yeah, that's the pity thing that I couldn't show you on the my mobile device, on mobile, because I have already prepared the mobile application testing that could be showed. But I guess showing you using the browser, using this UI were enough for you guys. So yeah, thank you for your attention. Yes, I hope that was useful for you. I hope that was useful for you guys. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Mhm. Thank you. It's very good. Guys, we have unique talk. Perhaps I was influenced the recent vacation. Once again, my apologize. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. So, yes, we have a question. Oh, what? We have a
Mhm.
question on the our mhm, the first question from Victor, if you remember. Victor
Mhm.
said about replace the WebSocket message. Do you have experience?
That's a very good question with the WebSockets. Like I'm not familiar with testing with that kind of stuff, but that's the good point to think about. But unfortunately, I can't answer. How to test using the WebSockets. So what I can say, only the like simple APIs with the with the recipe structure and something like this.
Okay. Um, Arjun, if you watch me, if you watch us, your question, what are limitation on this tool?
Uh, there are no big limitations. As I said before, you have a trial version, you have a trial period, and after trial period, you can use it for free. But the only limitation, it could restrict you from using for 30 minutes. Each 30 minutes, your trials will close immediately, and you will lose all of your stuff, all of the network trafficking that you tracked before. So that's the only limitation, I guess. But for me, like, when I'm testing like simple things, not the complicated, 30 minutes is super enough. That's the only
Okay.
limitation, yes.
Thank you, Matt. Daria asked you about some tutorials for Charles with him EPAM.
uh yes, we have it on our Confluence. Yeah, you can ask Jan Batan, and it will immediately show you where it's located.
Daria, I have a link if you, I can share you after session. Okay, Tatiana asked you about human, human, oh, human readable from some types of traffic, but unencoded. Base
I
64 and
remember the
base
base 64.
64
I
sorted.
remember.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, can't answer to that question, because I guess that's for the professionals. I guess that's using lots of Wireshark or other stuff. For me, like, the basic HTTPS, just decrypting, it's enough.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next question. Further ask you. Further have a problem. Just process stopped running on the Windows 10 and 11 and two different machines. Have you ever experienced the same problem?
In some cases, Charles could throw you some tricks and surprises, but for for the last year, I didn't face any problems. So
Mhm.
yeah, but not same as you, man. So yeah.
Okay, Svetlana's question. Uh, is it required to configure something to the mobile apps side before using Charles?
Can you go again?
So sorry. Is it
Ah,
required to confirm something? On the
So yeah,
mobile
guys,
apps by default.
that was the main point of that tech talk. So I would like to
Mhm.
show you. I wanted to show you how to configure that on the mobile device, but so due to my problems with my phone, yeah, I hate that phone already. So yeah, you should configure, you should install, you should configure, you should properly configure that by following the rules. So. Uh, if you want to, you can ask me directly on my on the comment section. I'll tell you and send very easy tutorials on the YouTube, or we have lots of information in our knowledge base. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's required to configure that.
Okay, nice question. Artem asked, are you going to organize a similar event about Proxyman?
Guys, if you want to, I can go with the Proxyman. Proxyman is a very cool tool, yeah, and it has a great UI. Yeah, for most of the people, for most of the testers, Charles, it's a bit like older, by its UI, like it's old UI. Yeah, Proxyman, it's a new one. Yeah, and I'm by myself thinking to switch to the Proxyman. Yeah, and maybe in the near future I'll organize similar event. So if you guys want to.
Mhm. Okay, very useful, very useful. And Alona, ask you about what are the advantages of Charlie's? Hmm?
To be
To
honest,
folder, for example.
Fiddler.
Fiddler,
No,
fiddler. Sorry.
Fiddler. So, I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't use Fiddler as much as, so I
Mm,
can't tell you the big advantages of the Charles. But what I'm thinking, like, what I know from the internet and from the guys that are familiar with the networking, they said that the Charles is very easy for the beginners. But I guess when you are pro in the networking, I guess by Fiddler by its own, specific features maybe can have some advantages than Charles. So, but I can't answer to that question, like a pro. So I'm as a tester, I only faced the Charles and the Proxyman. So I guess the Fiddler is only convenient for Windows. I guess I could be wrong, guys, but that's what I know.
okay. Okay, next question. Guys, ask it, will there be a second part with mobile? No?
Guys,
Mobile sharing.
unfortunately, there'll not be a
Mm-hmm.
second part because my mobile just, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just that.
Okay, guys, thanks. I see it's all question to you, Almat. Yeah, yes, it's all question.
Yeah, the last thing
Thank
that
you.
I want to say, according to the last question,
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that could be useful for you by showing the demo on mobile, that's how it configured that on mobile. The rest of the stuff, they're quite similar, guys. How to
Mm-hmm.
intercept, how to map local, map remote, how to use breakpoints and other stuff. Every other stuff the same. So, guys, what I'm advising to you, you have lots of data, lots of tutorials on YouTube, and any other IT related stuff, how to configure Charles to mobile devices. That's super easy, guys. No rocket science. So just
Sorry,
type it
Almat.
in Google. Yeah.
Thank you. And last from StreamYard platform, I show you.
Last question.
Mm-hmm.
Even disabling
Next.
macOS proxy in settings
Mm-hmm.
and closing Charles, the proxy continues to work. And I'm already tired of constantly deleting Charles to work normally, man. What kind of sorcery is that? Because I've never faced that kind of situation. So when you just disable macOS proxy, it disables. So yeah, and you can use it normally. Well, let's see. But by my own, I didn't face that kind of situation.
Okay. Thank you, Almat. It's very, very interesting. Guys, my apologize for my bad. Thank you. Thank you
Thank you.
guys for
Thank you,
joining,
guys.
and I hope we see you next talk. Bye, guys.